Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from RealityArtPod here to talk about the week 1 eviction of Big Brother 26. Last time on Big Brother, HOH Angela's meltdown hit a peak with her calling Matt Crazy Eyes. Lisa won the veto, saved herself, and Angela nominated Crazy Eyes in her place. Before I dive in, I put links in the description to my playlist where you can watch my previous recaps, and a link for you to try Paramount Plus for free. If you like the video, consider liking and subscribing, it really helps the channel. But let's dive into it. Let's get started with my favorite segment, What's Julie Wearing? Julie's wearing a denim corseted jumpsuit. When Julie wore denim last season, half the house wore denim, including Red going D on D and overalls like Rob from Love Island. They must give the house guests a memo, because Mackenzie's wearing denim jeans and a denim crop top. Back to where we left off in the house, the artist formerly known as Dolce, Lisa, used the veto and Crazy Eyes went up as the replacement nominee. The nominees are getting to strategizing, with Matt declaring his campaign will be focused on targeting Angela next week. Mackenzie talks to Lisa, reminding us that she's saving her power for herself, and tells Lisa that she's with them. I guess she's referring to the girls here, I'm not sure. Kenny tells us that he's decided he's okay with going home to his kids and let Matt go on to win the game. Matt then talks to Lisa. The show makes this out to be a really logical conversation where Lisa commits her vote to Matt, but the reality is it was an hours-long chaotic conversation where she spoke in riddles, committed nothing, and even stepped away to have a quick argument with players on the hammock. Matt is going around counting votes, approaching Quinn, Cedric, and some others, telling them he definitely has the votes, and brings them all together to form a giant fake alliance named the Barbershop, made up of Matt, Mackenzie, Chelsea, Cam, Cedric, Brooklyn, Leah, and Rabina. Back to you in the studio, Julie.
Up next, Angela goes off again.
Okay, I'm seated, Julie. Hit me with those commercials. After the break, where I learned a lot about insurance and Ozempic, Matt and Mackenzie are flirting outwardly in the backyard. Mackenzie says Matt is breaking down her walls, and he says he can be the tall, dark, and handsome guy she needs in her life. This was the show trying to tie a bow on a story that may or may not be over. The house guests struggle to strategize around the different eviction outcomes, as they're not sure who the final nominees will be, and there aren't set alliances, so they're kind of just not talking about it. Though Chemo gets a lot of support, and they all encourage him to fight, even though there's really no way Chemo's getting voted out.
You won't have to worry about being on the block. Take yourself off, come on. Keep hitting my knees, I'm so sorry.
Angela tries to give Kenny a pep talk, saying she needs him to kick Matt's butt in the AI arena, and he tells her he doesn't know if he has it in him. Angela is set off once again, in a shirt that is part of her audition for White Lotus.
My mind just went.
Yeah. Kenny kind of sucks for saying this, that he'd rather go home over Matt. As much as Angela can be cracked, I completely agree with her, but I'm also kind of cracked. We head to the AI arena where Kenny is wearing his sleeveless number, looking like he cares. Julie gets a break from having to explain the competition as Ainsley takes over, explaining that a glitch in Ainsley's system caused images of house guests to multiply. They have 2 minutes to count all of their house guests and find the house guest who appears the most. The person who gets the right answer fastest will be safe from eviction. I predicted that Matt would eat this. I just figured Crazy Eyes would come in handy. They get started. This comp looks really fun and high tech. The screens are huge and the whole setup looks really like they're in a computer, but it's not the most thrilling thing to watch as they're just standing there staring at the wall. Pew pew pew. And it was pretty hard to play along at home. They all race back around the same time and buzz in with different answers. Chemo buzzes in with Quinn, Kenny with Joseph, and Matt T-Core. Julie tells them the house guest who appeared the most is Quinn, making Chemo safe from eviction and leaving Kenny and Matt on the block. This was a good win for Chemo, and he's instantly super emotional. Good for him, he was super underestimated even by me. Julie talks to the house where the house guests are joined by their microchip mascots. Julie tells them that Chemo won the AI arena and they come running back in. The house guests lose their effing shit, even cursing and forcing them to cut to fish. Julie tells them they have 60 seconds to strategize, telling them they can pull people into rooms at this time, but really what can they do in 60 seconds, Julie? During this time, they start giving public speeches, followed by their official public speeches, where Kenny goes first, gets emotional, and shouts out his family. Angela gets emotional too, and then Matt gives a speech as well, with Angela pan-faced and side-eyeing, because she has IDGAF-itis when it comes to Crazy Eyes. He says he forgives Angela, and she either rolls her eyes at him or rolls her eyes to hold back tears, I'm not sure. They get to the votes. Votes to evict Matt are Chemo, T-Core, Brooklyn, Rubina, Quinn, Cam, Tucker, and Joseph. To evict Kenny are Lisa, Mackenzie, and Leah. So Julie reveals that Matt is evicted by a vote of 5-3. Mackenzie is devastated. They have a long embrace, no hug from Angela, but no drama on the way out, which I was braced for. The interview with Julie is sweet. Matt tells Julie him being there is about telling the story about his mom. He says that he whispered to Mackenzie they'll meet again, and Julie reads off his quote of him threatening Angela. He comes off as bright, charming, and well-spoken. He compliments Julie, saying his mom has loved her for a long time, and this ends up being one of the best eviction interviews of all time. So we lose Matt, who in my rankings I had 7th. I saw a lot of potential for him. He's obviously fit, but I think he's very bright and charming. He starts off the week by subtly threatening Angela in HOH, which got him off to a bad foot with Angela, and she locked eyes on him, tracking his every step. He didn't help himself by holding obvious court in the storage room for hours, and for having an obvious showmance and 3-person alliance with Mackenzie and Leah. If he didn't make such a spectacle of himself this week, he could have skated by. He still has allies in the house who were a solid army of good competitors, and he seemed well liked by a lot of the players who voted him out, but he ultimately was too much of a physical threat to keep around. Of all the guys in this bro archetype, I liked him a lot and feel like he was misunderstood. And he may be Crazy Eyes, but he's our Crazy Eyes. I'd like to see him again on the challenge where he and Mackenzie will clear. Overall, I thought this was a really good episode. For the first time in a long time, we come into a Thursday episode not knowing at all who's going home, unless it's a double eviction or something. But I really like this format. Of course, you do kind of know, based on how the competition goes, who will go home if certain people win. What I love the most is the live reaction that the house gives when they find out who wins the challenge. That was really sweet, and again, good for Chemo, who's been struggling to come out of his shell. I didn't love that they randomly gave them 60 seconds to talk game. That was kind of a waste of time. If we want chaos and split votes, have them vote instantly. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments, who are you rooting for to win this next HOH? Personally, I'm rooting for Lisa. If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be posting my week 1 player ranking shortly, and I'll be back on Sunday to cover the nominations episode. I'll also be on Twitter talking about the live feed, so join me there. Earth to Chenzita. Until next time, have a nice weekend. Bye!